welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just doing the video that you have all requested. So I convinced my husband to let me record him while he cuts out my MDF patterns. So if you'd like to see how he does it, please stay tuned, and I will be narrating over the top so that we don't have to hear the sander. Okay? Okay, so I have already put my lines down and traced my patterns on, and I've made sure I've used a pen to make sure that it's nice and thin, and I've also made sure there's a gap between each of the pieces so that nothing is going to get wrecked or distort any lines. So now we're just going to cut close to, but just slightly off the line that I have drawn. By doing this, this gives us a little bit of wiggle room, because if you're trying to cut it exactly, if you slip, you've wrecked the whole piece. So my husband always just cuts a little bit outside of the line and then separates all the pieces individually. So as you can see there, there's a little bit, it's gone a little bit crooked, but that won't matter because we're going to fix it all in a minute. So normally he would cut all the pieces at once, but I got him to just cut one and then show you how he's going to fix the edges. So we have some clamps here. I think they're called quick clamps. So we're just going to clamp it to the table so it can't move. We use 2, and then we're hanging, you'll notice that we're hanging the piece off the edge of the table. This is obviously an outdoor table that we don't care about because it's got lots of marks on it. But we're clamping it so that we can get to all the free edges, and then we're going to switch over to our sander and we're going to sand the edges down. Now we're using a belt sander for this, but you could use any sander that you've got. Sorry, I just had to move around there. So he just slowly works along the edge, bringing the edges back to the pen line that I've drawn. Now again, if you draw it with texture, it's going to potentially distort your pieces because a texture line is thicker than a pen. So as you can see in that top corner there, he's just sanding it slowly. He's not putting too much pressure because again, you don't want to create like a divot or something. We want the edge to be nice and smooth. So he just works back and forth in a slow, steady motion. The same for this goes for circular and rounded edges as well. So he just works slowly around a curve, the same as he's doing with the straight. So now he's going to pop that sander down. He's just going to get a hand sanding block and just make sure that there's no rough edges. And it's also wiping off all the excess sawdust so that we can see where the line is. So now he's going to pick the sander back up because we can see the line clearly again, and then go back in and make sure it comes right to the edge of that pen line. So normally he does all the cutting and then all the sanding at once, and then I just get them as he brings them to me, which is fine. And then one final block sand. That's just like a fine grit hand sanding block. It's not really about how thick it is. It's just to stop any splinters or rough edges. And there you go. All done.